It's me. What's going on? All right, man. Lenny Schmidt here. Quarantine comedy. Thanks for tuning in. I think we're good. All right, let me know if everybody can hear me. Let's do this again. Let's play this game. Let's see if Lenny's sound and everything is working. Because I'm pretty sure I'm in good shape. I'm pretty sure I'm all right. But I think this quite often, and I'm occasionally wrong. So let's give it a shot. Some of you guys, let me know if you guys can hear me. How are you? Good evening, guys. Hi, Vince. Good to see you. Everybody's here. Oh man. All right. Technical glitch. Oh, good. You can hear me. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. That's it. Hey, thanks for being here, everyone. Hi, everyone. Let me adjust my little camera thingy. There we go. So you can see my big fat forehead. Look, I almost got the lighting done right. Good to be here, everybody. How's it going? Thanks for being here for a very special Thursday edition of Quarantine Comedy. Lenny Schmidts, Quarantine Comedy. I say my name in the title because there's a million quarantine comedies out there, and I'm trying to brand myself or different. Yeah, I'm trying to make myself different. How's that? Does that make sense? Does that sound good? I'm trying to differentiate myself from the other quarantine comedies out there. So, welcome to Lenny Schmidt's Quarantine Comedy. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I hear sound in different areas. I think we're doing okay here. If you watched last night's show, it's just my phone. That's what it is. Last night's show, Gina Brion's show. I hope you enjoyed the show. That show is up and running as we speak right now on YouTube. All the episodes are going to be uploaded the very next day at 6 o'clock on YouTube. So Gina's is up there as we speak right now, as is Josh's earlier this week. Josh and Weitzman and my buddy Paulie V. And those guys are up there as well. Also, the podcast thing is all up and running. So we will be on iTunes probably sometime tomorrow morning. I've uploaded already 2 episodes there, so we're in pretty good shape, man. I'm on the big 3. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and iTunes. I've made it. Thank you. 30 plus years of this entertainment business, and it's taken some sort of coronavirus shutdown to put me in my house so that I can pull in tens of viewers a night. So there we go. Do me a favor, please go online, watch the show on YouTube, like the videos on YouTube. It is very important that you like everything on YouTube. Apparently, that's how my future is attached to a lot of strangers tapping on a like button. So please do that. Please. All right. What else have I got? Anyway, once again, the show is sponsored. We have a sponsor. When I mentioned at the beginning of the show, most podcasts go, hey, this show is sponsored by our sponsor is no one. I don't have a sponsor as of yet. So the sponsor is a little album called Secret Daddy. That's my new album. Yeah, you can get it on pre-sale right now. Anywhere on iTunes, all kinds of platforms, Apple Music, which is iTunes, Google Music, all that stuff. Amazon, you can get it there, folks. Grab it. I'm very proud of it. It's my second album in the last 15 months. Please join in and grab that album. Buy it as you can. The money from that album is helping support this train wreck. Is that I had to go out today and buy a new hard drive, a backup hard drive. This is fun, but I've spent a lot of money on stuff, on equipment. But anyway, you can get the album. It says right here, you can probably get the album for $9.49. Good for you, but they told me they were selling it for more. So there we go. Jeff Jena is in the room. I see him. We're going to have you on in a second, Jeff. Give me a second. I'll get right to you. You're a very impatient guest, by the way. I've already 3 messages from Jeff going, what are we doing? What's going on? Why am I here? Talk to me. Contact me. Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that's my sponsor, Secret Daddy. What's going on in the news? Real quick, let's check the news real fast. I had some news stuff I wanted to check. There's not a lot of good news. You know what's really bad is Mark Cohen went back to jail because he went to this is the funniest thing I've read all day today. Mark Cohen had to go back to jail because he went to the sheriff's office today to negotiate his stay-at-home order. Who's negotiating a stay-at-home order? How is that happening? Who are these people? You know what I mean? I get a parking ticket. I spend 45 minutes yelling at a guy, telling him that I was only 2 minutes late, and people are negotiating stay-at-home orders. How is that happening? I don't understand how anyone negotiates anything. Okay. This is a true story. I once spent 4 days in Cook County Jail because I couldn't pay a fine. And right before me, it was one of those court deals. You're standing in line of court. And right before you go to see the judge, the guy in front of me got busted. We had cocaine on him, all kinds of stuff. And they had a really fancy lawyer that came in and got him off on a technicality. The judge was so pissed off. He was so angry. I walked up and I owe $350 still on my fine, but if I have another month, and he just goes 30 days, bam. And they process me and I go to jail. There's no negotiating. I went right to the clink, man, right to jail. That's what I did. Not 30 days. It was just 4 days, but still there was no negotiating. It's really annoying. What else is going on in the news? Oh yeah, here's some more good news. LA could be back into a stay-at-home order sometime next week or in the week after. I can't say it enough, people. Put on your freaking masks. Just do it. Can you just wear your mask for a couple of weeks? Just get through it. Just do that. Okay, that's all. That's all I'm asking. Just do it for a couple of weeks, because the longer you don't do the thing with we're stuck in the houses, and the longer we're stuck in the houses, cruise ship, we're working, Uber Eats. Whew. Wow, I'm coming off kind of angry today, aren't I? Okay, yeah, I am. That's not fair. All right, let's see if I can get back to ground zero. Let's see where are we at. Where are we at? No, that's not there. That's not there. That's there. There we go. Let's calm down and say hello to everybody that's here before we get to our guest. Bob's here. Hey, Bob Brisendine. I always mess up your name. I apologize. Bob is here. Thank you. People are tuning in to see Jeff Jena, who I misspelled his name horribly. I threw in an extra N. Whatever. And there's a lot of people here. Hey, my Jocelyn Burb is here. That's my sister-in-law in a half, or stepsister, and I don't know how that works. We're related. Keith apologized to Jeff for some reason. A lot of people are saying, what up, Jeff? Where's Jeff? Where's Bob? Where's Jeff? Where's Jeff? There's Bob. There's Keith. There's Vince. Tammy, how are you? Again, Jeff. Eric Jensen here. Eric Jensen was the quarterback of my high school football team. I blocked for him. That's what I did. Okay, man. I think that's all the important stuff. Let me see if I can do this without causing some sort of chaos. Nope. Let's try it one more time. Yeah. Folks, your guest coming out here in a second is a good friend of mine. His name is Jeff Jena. Before I bring him out, let's do it this way. Let's go this route. Enjoy Jeff Jena for a few seconds.
Well, son, you've been looking here for 27 years. Apparently you are somewhere else. I know we have a lot of young people here in this audience. It's a great mix of people here. How many young people here, by your applause, you still live at home? Give me your applause, you still live at home. Awesome. Oh, smart. Do not be embarrassed, young man. Listen to this. Live at home as long as you possibly can. You got that? You suck every nickel possible out of your parents. Don't be an...
That's Jeff Jena, folks. There he is, folks. Let's not waste any time. Let's try to bring him out here. This is great. I'm really good at technology. Are you guys aware of that? Yeah, I'm awesome, folks. Here comes my good friend, the one and only Mr. Jeff Jena. Here he is. Hopefully, this should go off without a hitch. I'm sure I got this part done right. Where's my water? I'm thirsty. Holy cow. There he is. Yeah, Jeff Jena. Woo! Your audio is connecting. Hang on. We're getting so much closer, man. How are you, Jeff? Say a few words. Oh, we're still connecting to your audio for some reason. Oh, there we go. How are you, buddy?
Of course, I'm sitting here enjoying the show and listening to you start, and I'm just having a great time. We're still connecting to your audio. How are you, buddy?
There we go.
Of course, I'm sitting here enjoying the show and listening to you.
Oh, now you're caught up. Turn that volume down. That's gonna screw us up.
I'm like the bad radio show caller.
Dude, we'll both be idiots. We'll be the worst two idiots in the world. If that sounds in the background, we're hello, hey, what, hey, what, hey, what, hey. How are you, my friend?
I am doing absolutely fantastic, man. It is great to see you, even though we are only seeing each other virtually. It's one of the things I miss most about not working, next to the money. Is not seeing friends and other comedians, and part of the allure for me of being a comic has always been the hang. It's when I was first starting, I started in Houston, Texas back in the late 70s, 78. I started doing stand-up at the Comics Annex in Houston, Texas. And I was a school teacher at the time. And one of the great things was just being bad, man, going out and, it's Wednesday night, it's open mic night. You go out and everybody is at the Annex, all the local guys. And some of them became quite famous. But you go out and you go to the House of Pies, or we'd go up to Vera Paretti's and just hang. And I got to teach at 8:00 in the morning,
Oh, you were still teaching while you started doing stand-up?
Oh, yeah. And,
wow. All right.
And, I'm out till all hours and carousing with, Kennison and LeBeau and these characters. And then I got to get up and teach in the morning. So it's like, you're going in there kind of, and then, so you get done with the day and it's 3:30, you get back to your place, it's 3:30, 4:00, you're going, okay, tonight I'm going to grade papers, I'm going to get a good meal, I'm going to go to bed early. And then you're kind of looking at your watch and you get your papers graded and you're about, it's 1:15. Show starts in 15 minutes. Yeah, I could get down there.
I can make the ride.
I could get there. So, and that, I mean, that to me was always part of the best part. It's just to hang with the other guys, and the creative energy that's made through that hang. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, how many hours did we spend on a cruise ship until like 4 a.m. just talking? You know what I mean? About
everything, about life and
life, comedy. Yeah, I always tell people I have a hard time talking to normal, or I call them the straights.
I call them civilians.
Do you call them what?
Civilians.
So let's say, all right, that's good. Yeah, the civilians. I have a hard time with the straights. I can sit around and talk to a comic for hours, literally, like 12 hours, and then go, oh, geez, it's like 8 a.m. We got to go.
Yeah.
Anyone else is 15 minutes. You're like, oh, I got something to do.
15 minutes. You have a lot of patience.
Well, I don't have a lot of friends. It's just a couple, you know what I mean? So I narrowed down to just those few. But yeah, that's been the hardest thing, man. Like I'm in messaging and talking to people, but it's like, it's not the same.
It's not the same. I've been, I saw Bob Brisendine was in the chat, and Bob is one of the great guys in comedy, and great comedian, great magician, super guy. And I can't tell you, at least 5 or 6 times when I've been either at Port Canaveral or down there doing something, I go and hang with him, have a meal, hang out with him, and it's just I miss that. It's just I miss that camaraderie.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure I never worked with Bob. I don't think, but I'm pretty sure the only time I met him was at Three Amigos.
It could be. Yeah, because that guy drinks a lot. I mean, let's be honest. He drinks a lot.
We drink a lot that day. Hey, my agent's here. Steve Smith is here. Yeah, I know.
Steve and I.
He's chanting your name. He's chanting your
Steve
name.
And
he's very excited. He messaged me
a
couple times today, telling me he's going to be here.
I can't. I don't have the phone on to look at the chat and anything anymore because it was, it's like a bad talk show caller because I can't concentrate on one. But
no, I'm here. I hear you, man. I know.
Yeah. But Steve and I go way, way back to when I first moved to LA. I want to say 86. That was. I met him shortly after I moved to Los Angeles, and we were friends, and we're still friends to this day. I mean, I still love to hang. That's the thing. Here's the great thing about comedy that I don't know if the civilians realize or not. Like. I've known you 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years.
Yeah, we met. We went during the ship time.
Right, and I haven't seen you in person. The last time I think I saw you in person was in Long Beach. You and your brother Mike and
John Wick. Yeah, we went to lunch
together. And if I haven't seen you in, that's been a couple of years, 3 years maybe.
Yeah.
If I saw you tomorrow, it wouldn't be like some lag in our relationship or you have to, it's all of a sudden, it's like, it's boom. It's like right there, man. It's all of a sudden, it's like, it's like, boom, you're just right into your steps again, and like, it's like that with Steve. It's like I mean, I used to hang with Steve all the time. We used to golf together. We used to go out and hang at the clubs in LA together, and and I don't see Steve maybe once every 2 or 3 years now. But we're together 10 minutes, and it's like we've never been apart.
Yeah.
And I mean, every comic listening to this right now knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you pick right up. And I think it's also a product of the way we live our lives. People don't realize, they look at the traveling and they're like, wow, that traveling, this must be cool. But a lot of us have really good friends that we haven't seen in like four years. You know what I mean? Because we're constantly moving
And
around.
constantly moving, yeah.
But when you see each other, you're like, oh, hey, let's kill. Or how many times you spent time at an airport lounge? You know what I mean? Where you're like, I got 2 hours to kill. And you're like, I'm here.
In fact, on my way, one of my very last trips, and I think was I in Miami? I don't remember exactly where it was, and now I can't remember who I was with either exactly. But one of the people was Phil Palisol, but I'm not a lounge guy. But we go into one of the first class lounges, and there's 3 or 4 comics in there, and it was just great. And somebody took me in. One of the guys just said, "What, you're not going to the lounge? Come on, yeah, I'll take you in there." So it was great.
Yeah, the lounge is great. There's always like a bunch of guys in there. You always find there. Bob just informed me that I worked with him 2 or 3 times, and we talked barbecue. So I'm an asshole. Thank you, Bob. I apologize. I didn't remember that. Also, there's a lot of people. I'm getting the comments, so I refer, because a lot of people tune in all the time, and there are quite a few people on here. There's a lot of people on here that are cruisers, and many people who have seen you several times, and they've been excited forever since because I booked you late. It was last week or the week before.
Yeah,
I to do the show. Right. So I haven't been plugging much. But the second I mentioned you, the Runyons are here. Brenda Runyon, her husband Keith. They watch every show. They've seen this a bunch of.
I chatted with.
Yeah, they sent me a picture with you. So I gotta find that picture. I'm gonna find it while we're here. Show that. Yeah, I can do that technology-wise. I can figure it out. But anyway, they say hello. I want to make sure I say hello for them because they're very sweet and they love you, dude.
I chatted with Keith very briefly in the chat before I came on. So.
Oh, right on. Okay, cool. Yeah, you know what? Let's try and show. Let's do that. Let's see if I can do this without screwing it up. Let's give it a shot.
You're like Mr. Technology. Like I'm in awe of you, man. You got the headset and the good microphone, and you look like you're in kind of studio office place there. I'm in my living room.
It's taken me 4 months to get this far. And the most painful thing, I just recently started watching all of the shows from the beginning to try and figure out what I'm doing wrong. Maybe the most painful thing I've ever done has been watching my shows from the beginning. I just see every mistake. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this works, man. Bam, that should work. Let's see. Did that come up?
Oh, there it is. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I remember that, dude.
That's my good friend Jeff Jena right there in the middle. That could be any ship. That could be the Dream.
I think that's like the Magic or the Breeze. That's like that
might be the Breeze. Yeah. And that's key. That's the Runyons there on each side. And you guys are all familiar with the Runyons. On the left is Brenda, and the right is Keith, who recently just started doing stand-up. He did an open mic down in Tampa. He's a Patreon member.
It's another life ruined.
I know exactly. So it's like I was like, man, you're waiting. You've waited a long time to destroy your life, but good luck. Good for you. We're starting late. So yeah, that's the Runyons, man. So they were very excited to see that you were going to be here. So and obviously you've already talked to Keith. So
yeah, talked to him very briefly there. So
yeah. So where are you at? Are you in the Ohio? You near Cleveland?
Yeah, I'm my wife and I and my son kind of live out away from. We kind of live halfway between Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio. Kind of out in the smaller town area, and I have a little house in the woods.
Are you how's it?
I'll share my screen. Share my screen here. Let me see if I can. Oh no, I can't. I can't do it. Never mind.
No, I'm in charge. I'm in charge.
I command the show.
I'm the captain now.
But this is the longest I have been at home in a continuous streak since 1980.
Dude, every comic is saying. Every single comic is like.
I mean, I've been home. I came home on March 15th. I flew home from Miami on March 15th, and I haven't worked since as a comedian. I tried this thing. So my son is he'll be a college senior next year now, and he's doing this DoorDash and Uber Eats. excuse me, and he's making pretty good dough. He's doing all right. So I thought, well, I could make a little dough. So I signed up for this thing called Instacart, which is because but let me back it up a minute.
Sure.
So when I first came home, I didn't think I was going to be home that long, and I wanted to be like kind of like, I got this nice little break.
Yeah.
And,
Almost like a vacation. Like, oh, this will be a nice little couple of weeks.
so I'll do something nice. So in Cincinnati, there's a senior services. It's called Cincinnati Senior Services, right? And they're always looking for volunteers to do things for seniors. And one of the things they need most is people who are willing to go grocery shop for seniors that are shut in and have medical conditions, so they can't go out, things like that. So I said, hey, you know what? I'll shop. So I start shopping for these seniors in Cincinnati. And then I find out about this Instacart. You can get paid to shop for people. So I thought, this is a natural for me, right? So I signed up.
It's a natural for you?
Yeah, because I like going to the store, So
I don't think I've ever heard any grown man say that.
So so I sign up for the Instacart, and so the first one I do is I'm down in Cincinnati doing some errands, and I say I'll turn on the app, and it says, hey, there's a batch. You can do some groceries at the Harrison Avenue Kroger's. And I'm like a block away from the Harrison Avenue Kroger's. I go, this is great. So I swipe and I say, I'll do that batch. And then it says, you are 26 miles from the store. So it was Harrison Avenue, but there's a town called Harrison, Ohio, which is about 25 miles away from where I was at the time.
Oh, right. Okay.
So the first time I do it, I got to drive 30 minutes, go to this store, pick up somebody's groceries, take them to their trailer park, drop them off.
Wait a second.
And I make
from
like
a trailer park is using InstaShop.
It's amazing. And so I make like
that's a lot of Budweiser and Pall Malls.
Exactly. I make $9 for.
Dude, if you break that, that's like $18 for an hour.
Yeah. No. I drive a half an hour out there. Takes me a half an hour to shop and deliver. Half an hour back. It's an hour and a half, and I make $9. So I'm pulling down less than minimum wage.
Yeah, right on. And paying for gas on top of it, my friend.
So, and my son had told me that his friend from college was doing it when he was making $600 a week. I'm going, I could do that. And so my total earnings from Instacart so far are about $23. So I needless to say, I have deleted the Instacart app from my phone. So anyway,
I'm doing the Uber Eats, and I noticed the later you work on the Uber Eats, the farther away. I picked up and late at night it's all cheeseburgers and stuff. I picked up 2 cheeseburgers at McDonald's and had to drive 35 minutes to the 210, like near Imperial Highway or something, and drop it off. And then and I always check. You can check those apps to see how much they tip afterwards. You know what I mean? Always looking, because you can thank them on Uber Eats. You can thank everybody for the tip.
Yeah.
So I always hit thanks, but and I'll be honest with you, most people are tipping ridiculous right now because of the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I had 3 orders last night that were like $5 and somebody tipped like $20. I mean, it was, it's a big tip.
My son is doing the same thing too. I mean, he's doing Uber Eats and DoorDash, and it's even in our little town. He doesn't even go out till, he says, Dad, the real money is from 10 to 2 in the morning.
Yeah, that's money. That's when I drive.
And that's when he's working. He goes out around 10, and he goes, every stoner and every drunk doesn't want to get in their car and go to McDonald's. He goes, I pick up McDonald's, I pick up a $6 order, the guy gives me a $10 tip.
Yep.
I said, good for you, man. So he's,
yeah, that's the way to do it, man. I got an issue. When this first started, my daughter and I ordered Jack in the Box at 2:30 in the morning one night. I'm serious. And I was up late. I've been drinking a little bit. It was early in the quarantine. The first couple of weeks weren't good for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was a little depressed. I was like, this is the worst. So we literally ordered a bunch of food at 2:30 in the morning. And it was maybe $40 for the Jack in the Box with the tip and everything else on top of it. The next day I'm looking at my app and I'm going, this is the stupidest decision I've ever made in my life. $40 on horrible food. But it's not, and it depends on the area too. Like, especially here, California, they're getting ready to lock us back down again. So if that happens, you're making a ton of money because people can't go anywhere.
Can't go anywhere.
Yeah. Hey, so a bunch of people just chimed in. Man, Kim Harrison is here. Kim Harrison is
Kim.
watching the show.
Mama Kim.
The one and only Kim Harrison. Hey, Karen Christ is here. She is my second step sister-in-law to be watching the show tonight. That's really cool. I got family. If it wasn't for family, I'd be in trouble. Sandy Powers, my ex-girlfriends are here too. That's how I do it here, Jeff. I have ex-girlfriends and step-sister-in-laws and comedians. That's my whole demographic. That's it. That's everybody. That's all I need.
Yeah, I mean, I live out nowhere. I have no, like, I drove 2.5 hours last week to play golf with Happy Cole. Just to hang out.
Really?
Yeah, just to hang out with a comedian for a day. I just wanted to hang out with a comic for a day, you know? It's just like
Steve Smith is actually typing jokes into the thread, and if I don't read them because he's my agent, I'll be in trouble. Although I don't know why.
What exactly what can he do to you now?
That's what I'm saying. I always say that he's getting 10% of nothing right now, so he's doing an excellent job. He's well worth the money, Jeff. I'll tell you that right now. 10% of nothing. It's the best 10% of nothing I've ever spent. Here's Steve Smith. I drove for Goober Eats. Tips are good, but I hate having to say Andy after every delivery. I love it. That's funny. Kim Harrison, we missed you too, man. We were just talking about how cool it is to hang out. We missed people. Carrie's here. Carrie Worms is here. Worms? You got to tell me how to pronounce your last name, Carrie.
Oh, yeah.
My biggest supporter on Patreon is Carrie, and I get to see her once in a while. So she's here. Wow, man, we got a lot of viewers today. This is very cool. This is excellent.
Nice.
I say a lot. When I say a lot, I mean some. So you haven't done any live shows. When did you get home? When all this went
March
down,
15th, I flew home from Miami. I was actually with Jim Brick on a ship, and the scheduling was just getting chaotic right there at the end before they closed down. So I was supposed to get on a ship with Jim in the Bahamas, and they said, "Oh no, you got to go back to Miami and then go to New Orleans and get on a ship out of New Orleans." So I left Brick in the Bahamas. I flew from Freeport to Miami. I get to Miami on a Thursday, I believe it was, and they put me up in the nice Sheraton there by the airport.
Oh, I love that. I love that joint. Yeah.
No, I have a meal. I go out and I walk around. There's a golf course there. I walk around the golf course. I make a reservation tea time for the next morning because I get another day. I get all day in the hotel on Saturday, right?
Right.
And then I was going to fly to New Orleans on Sunday morning. Well, I get back to the hotel after my walk, and the lobby is just jammed with people, and there's a lot of crying, and there's a lot of upset people. Yeah, and it was people who were going to go on a cruise, and they got canceled. And so, because that's the day the Carnival shut down completely, was the 15th of March.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so all these people were there to go on cruises, and everybody was like in the hotel. They're crying in the lobby, and I'm going, "Oh, this is bad. This is bad." And so I go up to my room, and about 20 minutes later, I get a message that I should book my own travel home because New Orleans will not be going back out. They were going to port on Sunday morning and then not take on new passengers.
Yeah, they're all coming home, right?
And so I booked my flight, went home early next morning, got home on the 15th, and have been home ever since, and haven't done a show at all. And the other thing it is weird because I had a bunch of stuff scheduled with cruises and other stuff. In fact, I had started putting money out I was going to film a special and self-produce it.
Oh, no way. All right.
Yeah. And so I hired a director and a lighting guy, and we'd done a couple of venue visits, and we're getting ready to go. We were going to film on April 25th, I think we had a date set up. And about 2 days later, Ohio shut down live venues.
Right.
So my whole special that I was going to film was kind of on hold. And like my son and I were just talking about it today. My son is a musician,
right,
and has a great band, and they're doing they're supposed to do an album release party on August 15th. and I am going to narrate their show for them. They have like a whole arc for the show that they're doing, the album release show, and I'm going to
like
be
a storyline type thing, or just
yeah,
a
yeah,
okay,
and I'm
cool.
going
That's
to be
cool.
the narrator, and it
That's
will be
cool.
my first time on stage uh since March 15th. So
Dude, it might not be a bad idea because have you done any online Zoom type shows?
no, you know, I would do one, but you know, I just haven't had a chance, you know. In fact, a couple people asked me if I was interested, and I said I was interested, and it was just like nothing ever came of it. So
I do. I've done a couple of them. Here's we'll do. Well, we'll talk afterwards. But I have another one. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. I do
mhm,
my own based through my Patreon page.
yeah,
Maybe we could talk. Maybe if you want to do that with me, I can have you on that.
I would love to.
Why don't we do that? We'll start talking about it now.
We'll talk about it later, man.
We'll talk
We'll
about it
talk
afterwards,
yeah.
and if it works, then you and I'll split the time,
Or-
and then we'll do whatever.
I'm not looking for money. I'm just looking to annoy somebody.
Well, then you come to the right place because my supporters love to be annoyed. Trust me, they're nothing but if not loyal. Yeah. Here's the thing with the Zoom shows I've noticed though. First of all, there's a whole timing thing, which is weird. You know what I mean? There's at least a second delay when you tell a joke, and obviously you're not getting the feedback, which is tough. But the hardest thing is after so much time of not working, dude, the rhythm and remembering your stuff became an issue. You know what I mean? It really became an issue. So I've done live.
But I've been doing the same act for 40 years.
So hey, if you think about it, it's like riding a bike. If you can do it while you're sleeping, you can do that with a sleep apnea machine on. That's not a problem. Okay. Well, then you got nothing to worry about, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robin loves to be annoyed. Everybody loves to be annoyed. Steve asked if you're okay. He said you coughed. Check your temperature.
Tell him I'm fine.
And then Steve made fun of the Cubs and the White Sox all in one sentence. That's very good work. Actually.
Hey, I expected to see the Kingman picture displayed in the background.
I didn't. I'll be honest with you. I have a hard enough time remembering to plug in the microphone, Jeff. I'm sorry. Although the fact you sent the Kingman picture was the greatest because I got to explain it to my daughters.
Oh, that's great.
Who stared at me like, all right, Dad, whatever. And I made them listen. I go, no, you're going to listen to why this picture is important to me.
You know, but here's the funny thing too is like I used to collect so much crap, and just about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, my wife and I decided we got to get rid of we have a loft in our house that she uses as her office, and for tax purposes is also my office. Just I want to make that clear. But
good call. I got an IRS guy that watches this show.
But just I had so much like stuff, just sports stuff and crap and that, and it's just like half of it wasn't even displayed anywhere. It's just in boxes and that.
Yeah.
Just so when I see somebody when I read the Kingman story on your Facebook page.
Oh right, yeah, that's where that came from.
I said, "Oh man, I got a picture Lenny would like, man," because it's like I got 30 autographed baseball guys in a book, and it's sitting in my closet. You know,
cool. That's cool.
It's just like so. It's just like here I'll send you one. You know, so it gives me great pleasure to know that you have a connection to the picture. You know, it's just not.
God, I really love Tavy. I was right around that age, man, when he was the bomb. I actually had tickets to the 24-23 game against the Phillies that got lost, and we couldn't go. I'll never forget the day my neighbor had the tickets, and they go, "Do you want to go to the game?" And we go, "Yeah." So we stay home from school, but her husband went to work with the tickets in the glove box. And this is back in the 70s when there was no, it's not like
there's no internet,
your phone. There's none of that crap. So we tried to track this guy, and he was a contractor, so he was always moving around. You couldn't get him on the radio, and so we couldn't go to the game. So I'm like, all right, fine. So I sat home and just watched the game, and just got madder and madder and madder and madder. I mean, after the top of the first inning, I was like, well, thank God I'm not at this game, because that's when the Phillies scored like 8 runs, and I'm like, this is gonna be a nightmare. And then the Cubs put up like 7, and now I'm mad. Now I'm like, okay, you know what? And then by the end of the day, which was Schmidt had 4 homers, Kingman had 3, I think. It was just chaos. It was just, it was a great game. It was insane. Robbie Davis is here. I don't know if you know Robbie Davis, Jeff, but she is a regular at Zanies in Chicago, in Rosemont and Chicago. Actually, she's been to. She was at my last comedy taping. As a matter of fact, let's talk. Since you're talking about doing another special, you're already getting ready to do another special after you have. You're not an adult at 18 that came out on Dry Bar. Was that early this year or late this year?
They kind of that came out about a year ago on Dry Bar. And they just released the entire show a month ago.
Right.
In fact,
really? Okay.
they renamed it. My name for the show was Old Dog New Jokes.
Oh, it was. I remember that.
Yeah,
I love that.
And if you go on the Dry Bar website and you want to find my show, you can find it by my name, Jeff Jena. But if you search it by title, you got to search it by Old Dog New Jokes.
Okay.
But for some reason, when they re-released it for the Facebook thing, they retitled it "You're Not an Adult at 18." So I'm happy. It's getting a few views. I'm making a couple nickels. I'm happy.
Good for you, buddy, man. If you're happy, that's good.
Yeah. So
well, I guess Keith Stubbs can rename those things. I guess if he wants. I don't know how they do it. They're doing it. Well, they're got to be relaunching all this stuff now because everybody's home content like crazy. People are sucking up content.
Exactly. So. Keep people, yeah. So, but it's been good, and I mean, I've got in a month, and it's not anywhere near the record for. Because some comics
Brad
get 20 million, 30 million, numbers. 50 million views. But it's like it had almost 1 million views between Facebook and YouTube. It had almost 1 million views in a month, which is
amazing.
Which is nice. I mean, it's like
that's pretty good.
But if you're doing 200 shows a year at 300 people a show, that means you're entertaining 60,000 people a year. That means it would take you 20 years to entertain a little over 1 million people. So as many people have seen that show in a month as I've entertained live in the last 20 years.
Wow, look at that. See, now you can afford to stay home.
I wish.
Dude.
So my wife just told me the other day that she wanted to be a 2-income family again. And so I suggested she get a second job. Anyway, some of the new stuff, sneaking it in.
No, dude, get it out there. Get it out there. That's why we're here. Let's get our voices back out there, man. That's great, dude. That's the best. All right. Well, I watched the special before. I like the old name better, though. I'll be honest with you. I love that old name is.
I like that. It's why I picked it.
Did you print? Is this on just exclusively on digital through Dry Bar? Like,
it is. They actually own the rights to it, and I get a percentage of the ad revenues. It's kind of weird. When they Dry Bar, and this is like very inside baseball. I don't know if people are like interested in this at all. But
I am. That's why I want to talk about this stuff.
The original business plan for Dry Bar was that it was going to be a pay website.
Right.
And if you wanted to watch my entire special, it cost $1. If you wanted to buy the special and own it, it was $10. And I was planning on promoting it heavily at my shows, giving out cards with the web address on it, tell people, hey, go watch my show, go buy my show, go buy my show. And at some point, maybe 6 months after I did my special, and I actually taped that about 18 months ago or 19 months ago, but at some point, they changed their business model and realized that they could make more money from advertising dollars on Facebook and YouTube than they could through subscriptions.
Right.
And so they started releasing stuff, which is great because they share the ad revenue with me. But, if I had 1 million viewers at $1 a view, I wouldn't have to work anymore.
Right. No, that's true. Yeah, right.
But the ad revenue is fractional cents, So
yeah, I was just corrected by who's that, Vince or Keith? I just lost the thread. My album actually is out. It just came out this week. I went through 800 Pound Gorilla that doesn't do. They don't do. It's not a special video. It's just strictly audio, and they stream through all platforms. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm pretty happy with them. I can do anything I want with it too. I still own it. I can take it out and do stuff.
Well, I will talk to you about that when I do my new special.
And you should. And one of the things I think they're catching on, you know what it is? It's coming back to I was listening to an interview yesterday. I don't want to get off subject. It's kind of near the same subject. You'll get this. There's a show called The Old Guy. It's an internet show, and one of the stars is the girl that used to play Roz on Frasier. And I
Right,
heard
okay.
an interview with her yesterday, and it's basically they released the show in 5 to 10 minute episodes. And now one of the things, it sounds weird, but especially with COVID and the way things are now, and that people are home and people are watching content, everybody's got a short attention span. Everything is short now. So things like long album specials, they don't exactly sell. So the old model of buy the album, do whatever,
Right.
doesn't work. But 800-pound gorilla, I think, where they make most of their money, at least I'm just guessing. And I'm happy with what I'm getting from them. It's all streaming and it's all tracks. It's all, you break it
Right.
down per track. So when you edit the album, you go in and you listen to every track and you cut them down, and they like them to be around 2 to 3 minutes. And there's certain things you look for. So now when I did the second album, and I wrote the material for the second album, and I started working on it, I structured it in that structure, knowing I was looking for the 2 to 3 minute tracks, as opposed to before I just recorded a whole hour and then cut it down into stuff, because I was breaking stuff in half, going, this really goes better together,
Right.
and this goes, you know what I mean? So this time I was at least able to, I could make it together, but at least have whole 2 to 3 minute tracks back to back. And the reason I bring it up is everybody's attention is so short that all these things now, it's just short term. It's all quick, adds off a quick clip, adds off a
It's
quick
not
thing.
it's not about holding eyeballs. It's just like about getting eyeballs, you know.
And they want to hold, they want retention, but for like a short period of time. With the exception to that still seems to be YouTube, which I just started doing, putting the videos up on. They like their videos to hold retention for more than 15 minutes if they can. But a lot of the newer stuff is all 30-second to look at TikTok. Dude, look at the TikTok stuff. It's so huge.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it was Vine was the one years ago that was out, that came and went. That's how old we are, dude. These things are coming and going before we're even, we're aware. So are you sure you're okay? Are you good? Did
You know what? It's weird. I have allergies. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but my eyes are red. I cough and I sneeze because I have allergies. And it's like pollen season. I go out to play golf. They're cutting grass. I hack like an old man. And then, but the bad thing is you go anywhere in like to a store, or you're, and people are going, he has the plague. Leper.
Yeah. My daughter and I have allergies too. My daughter and I were in Costco last week, and I started to cough in the car. And she's like, "You better finish that up before we go inside." I'm like, "All right." And she's like, "You're so scared. You can't even sneeze. People stare at you. They're all."
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
Some people are over scared, and some people don't. Some people walk up. There's a guy. I was in CVS yesterday. There's a guy no mask just walking around. He's like, "You know where the shampoo is?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't know if it's working, but it's got to mean something. Put the mask on."
But things are going good. I told this to Happy the other day when I was hanging out with him. I'm seriously considering not going back to ships when they come back, because I think it's going to change. Unless there's a vaccine, it's not going to be the same. It's just not going to be.
Oh, it's going to change completely. Everything's going to change. I don't know what to expect. So
so neither do I. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you were hoping last time we worked, you were talking about cutting back on a lot of the work anyway. The traveling. You know what I mean? You're kind of leaning in that direction.
And I have, man. It's just it's just too hard on me, man. I mean, it's like I'm 68 now, man. It's just like, man, this 100 days at home has been kind of great.
Yeah.
Like my son left this afternoon. He went up to hang with some friends from school. They're getting on a plane tomorrow. They're flying through Chicago out to Seattle. My niece lives out in Seattle. She's loaning them a car for a week, and they're going to go to Crater Lake and Mount Rainier and hike and that.
In Seattle, are they going to go by Chaz? Is he going to go hang out and check out Chaz?
Chaz is gone,
I know it's Chaz. It's gone.
Chaz is gone, but
it's all cleaned up. It's a mini mall now. There's a Starbucks there. Hey, come on, Seattle.
It's a tourist site now. It's run by Disney.
You can take pictures next to. There's a big cardboard cutout of the guy with the gun. You know what I mean? They're smiling. That's the best.
So anyway, but he's going, and he's going to the airport. And I'm going, man, I haven't been to an airport in forever.
Oh,
I used to go once a week.
Yeah.
So
yeah, at least once a week.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, I'm with you. The one thing I noticed, dude, I wish I'm playing the lotto again because I know this. The longer I'm home, the more I like it. I'm not like I gotta get out of here. I gotta get on the road. The longer I'm here, I'm like I'm pretty used to this. This
Hey,
is
I tell
pretty
you what,
cool.
I'm the same, man. I mean, I'm enjoying it and being home with Mrs. Jenna, and it's been great. And we're actually Sunday, we're gonna go down to Tennessee. We got a condo up in the mountains. We're renting for a couple of days. We're gonna go up by Smoky Mountains. We're gonna go hiking and hanging out in the woods for a couple of days. And it's just like I'm looking forward to it. It's just like we've been doing a lot of stuff. We've been doing a lot of canoeing.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. At least you can get out. Like the girls and I went to Mammoth last week for 2 days.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Which I wish we could have took like 2 more days. Would have been perfect, like 4 days, because we basically been here the whole time, and we haven't done it. And we usually go out a lot. The kids and I go out a ton. We go,
Right.
we go to Universal, the beach, all kinds of stuff. But we went. I'll tell you what, dude. Anna and I went on a hike through the mountains, like in the woods.
Right.
It was the best day ever. It was just the greatest. It was
It's
fantastic.
fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah.
It was beautiful.
So in fact, for Father's Day, I got a pair of hiking boots.
Oh, those are great, dude. They're great. As you
I
do, as
want-
the older you get, there's nothing I appreciate more than a good pair of like shoes or boots. Like
Yeah.
for like hiking, I used to walk in anything, but now if I walk in the wrong pair of shoes, I can't walk for 2 days, man. I'm
Yeah.
like,
So-
I'm all messed up.
I forget what movie it's from, but I can't remember the movie, but it was some movie that it's years old, but there's an old guy in there, and one of the younger people says, what would you do if you could do it all over again? He goes, I would get better care of my teeth and my feet. And I said, as I get older, I'm going, that guy was so right.
Yeah, he was on nailed it. Every kid when they get older is going to talk about it. My daughter goes on hikes. She was wearing these little loafers, like with no support, and the whole walk, I just kept going. Are you okay? Are those all right for you? Are those? I mean, we're going up the side of it. It wasn't like a mountain, but it was a windy,
Right.
trail. And I'm like, if I had to walk 20 feet in those shoes, I'd be dead right now.
I got
how you do it.
somebody, Tammy in the I'm looking at the chat. She said canoeing in Ohio.
In Ohio, yeah. I was just going to bring that
Hey,
up.
yeah, we have rivers.
Yeah, there's
It's
rivers.
amazing. But we actually have been canoeing on the Little Miami River, which is beautiful. Has some rapids. It's not like the Colorado River, but it's got some little rapids in it, and it's fun, And we're not looking for a thrill. We're looking for a day out.
Yeah, dude. I used to go river rafting all the time in Wisconsin, and it's beautiful up there, man. And they have a little bit of rapids, not like heavy, but just like rapid enough to where I like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the best day ever.
Where you don't have to paddle for 500 feet.
Yeah, dude, I want something to carry me through. You know what I mean?
Well, I need a little
I want a lot of this. This is what I want. This is a grueling. This is exhausting. This is a great exercise.
It's kind of scary though, see, because I have a term life insurance policy that runs out in about 4 years, and I think my wife is aware that that's going to run out. I'm in pretty good health, so she's starting to suggest these like extreme. Hey, let's go kayaking. Hey, maybe bungee jumping's fun. Hey, you should go parachute. So it's like, hey, why don't you go up in a small plane with your friends?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think so.
Tomorrow she's gonna Uber Eat some of that poisonous fish stuff for you. That's what's gonna big plate. Why don't you try that? Be
Some
careful though;
blowfish.
it could kill you. Well, which
Some
part do we eat?
blowfish sushi.
The blowfish, is that it? The blowfish? Dude, I don't know. I can't do that. I hear that all the time, man.
I'll just add. I see Vince in the chat. No, canoeing is not the same as canoodling. Whole different.
Well, they're up
Although
in Northern California. Those guys are up in Northern California. So,
Although I have seen some young people out canoeing who I think would stop at the little islands in that river and maybe do a little canoodling, if you know what I'm saying.
hiding in the woods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little bit canoodling. Is that what the kids call it these days? Canoodling?
I don't know. I'm just answering Vince in the chat there. So.
Dude, there's 3 couples that follow this show all the time. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even do a show. I got news for you. There's Vince and Tammy, and then Brendan and Keith.
Nice.
Yeah, these are great. Robbie said a great joke. Damn, where did it go? I got to find it. Robbie said something that made me laugh out loud. Oh, when you go shopping, coughing will shorten the lines. That's a great.
Uh,
That's the best.
I was saying, social distancing. I'm a dad. I've been social distancing for years. Here, pull my finger. You'll
Yeah.
social distance. You'll get
Yeah,
6
yeah,
feet away from me when I cut loose, pal. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right, that
awesome.
one's off the list of new jokes. That one right there at the fart joke, gone.
Work your way through the whole list. I don't care. Throw them all out there. That's the good thing the Zoom show is for next week when we do the Zoom show.
I was trying to. This is a concept I'm thinking about, and the hard thing about stand up, and people don't realize, it's like my son's a musician, and he can sit at the piano over in the room there, and he can play the piano, and at some point, even though there's nobody there to listen to him but him, he knows, wow, this is sounding really good, right? And he's getting better. But with comedy, you can't do that.
No.
Comedy is the only performing art that absolutely requires a response from the audience.
Yeah, that's true. You need to.
And if without an audience, there is no comedy. You have to have an audience that responds to what you're doing, to let you know what you're doing is good. Because I can write a joke, like I'm working on this bit. It's like I say, I'm getting older, and I find myself in situations, excuse me, around the house where this thought comes to me is, man, I don't want to be found dead like this. You're brushing your teeth in your black socks and sandals, and that's it. That's all you got on. And you're going, you know what? I got to put on a shirt or something here, because if I die right now, if I have a heart attack and drop dead, I don't want
a great angle. Yeah,
I don't want them to find me like this.
Yeah.
And then
think about that a lot more at 68 than 28.
Yeah, you do. And here's the other thing is that you think, I don't want to die from doing this. I don't want to be that guy,
Yeah.
Well, what happened to Jeff? Well, he was working under his car, and he cut the wrong line, and it ran over him. He might have lived another 30 years, but he killed himself under the car.
I constantly think about death now. I'm afraid my mortality. The older I get, the more I think about it.
Right, exactly.
Your heroes start dying. That's what happens.
Your awareness of your own mortality becomes more a factor in your life.
Yeah, it does.
So it really does.
And I mean, I feel great. It's not like I don't feel like I'm going to die, but I'm constantly, there's a lot of people I know very well that aren't around anymore, and the more it happens, you're a little
Just last week on one day, I lost a very good friend who was an actor, and another friend who was a comedian who had become a doctor who I hadn't seen in a while, but back in the day, I worked with him many, many times. And it's just like, man, it's tough and these guys are both younger than you, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is some guys are younger and healthier and they look great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guys look like
Here's the other thing.
guys.
It's like when I look at the obituaries, the first thing I look at is the age.
Yeah,
and I go,
me too.
Hey, 93, good run.
Okay,
good run,
all
man.
Right.
Good.
I feel pretty good about that.
Trying to make 93 myself, man. That would give me another 25 years. Man.
Yeah, it gives me hopes. That's a lot of time. I see anything in the late 40s, 50s. So I see a lot of 50s now. A lot of comics in their 50s, man. The road takes a lot out of you, man. When you're talking about the traveling, and I'm not even talking about like all the drinking and drugs that you may have done when you were younger, but the traveling itself.
Travel is hard on you. It's hard on you, man.
Yeah.
Along the same line about the taking its toll on you. You always wonder, is this going to be my last show? And I didn't think this is how it would end.
Yeah.
Like I thought I would get sick. I didn't think everybody would get sick, and that would be the end of my career.
That's a great point. That's really good. This is not exactly. This is way more than I thought it would be.
So
this is a lot more intense.
What else you got for me, man? That's about it. That's all I got, man.
That's all I got, buddy. That's it, man. Wanted
to
talk.
You know what, man? It's great to see you. I thank you for asking me to come on with you, man.
I'm glad you could do it, man. I'm glad I could pull you away from the golf course long enough to sit down in front of a computer.
This is so. By the way, this is what I'm doing. Starting August 1st, I am coaching high school golf for 2 months.
Oh, that's great gig for you.
Oh, yeah, it's a nice little gig.
You love that's fantastic, man. You'd be great at that.
I got the boys. The boys are coming out to the golf course tomorrow. We had a couple informal practices. We can't have our season actually starts on August 3rd is our first like mandatory practice, but we're allowed to have informal practices, non-mandatory practices. So we had a couple non-mandatory sessions at the range. And tomorrow I just said, hey man, you guys want to come out and play 9 or 18? 1 o'clock, come out. Well, I'll drive around in a cart with a cooler and some cool towels and some waters, and you guys play football. So we're doing that tomorrow.
That's a great gig for you, dude. That's very cool. Now,
So-
it would seem that golf would be one of the at least a sport you could do now, right? On a lot of
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely social distancing,
Sure.
and a lot of room out there. So it's
Yeah.
easy to stay away from each other. It's no contact, so.
Good for you. That's a really good dude. I can't think of a more perfect job for you.
I'm
actually. That's really good.
looking forward to it. So, and this is kind of self-serving, but I had already told my agent, listen, because I had committed to this 2 months, 8 weeks coaching stint before
COVID.
before COVID.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I talked over with Karen. I said, man, it would be great. I can stay home for 2 months and just, not travel and I can still make a little money. And she goes, yeah, go for it. So I had told my agent, listen, August or September, I'm not available. Right. So this COVID thing hit and I'm going, well, I'll probably be able to get a week or two in July before I go for the 2 months. But now it's like, well, we're not cruising till at least September 17th. So I'm like, it's all right. So.
Yeah, right. You're not going now, man. You're not going anywhere.
So I'm glad I took the commitment because it's, I'm not going to probably be going out till October anyway. So
yeah, right. Well, dude, the golf gig is great. That's good for you, man. At least you get out to get fresh air. There's nothing better than that. That's very cool. That's good. All right, man. Folks, that's Jeff Jena. Give Jeff a round of applause.
Thank you, Lenny. Thanks for everybody. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. I appreciate that. And if you can go and check out my dry bar special, it's all over Facebook. If you go to my Facebook page, or my fan page is just called Jeffrey Jena Comedy Fans. If you go there, you can look at it. It doesn't cost you anything. Go look at it and share it with your friends and make me some money. That's all I'm saying.
Here we go. We'll do that also after the show. Normally what I do, and I'll do this episode as well. I'll share all of Jeff's internet and digital contacts in the bio of the videos. And then that way you can go right up and click on the links. You can go there and check out his special. You can throw him some money, buy the special, do whatever you got to do, and follow Jeff on his Facebook pages and all that stuff. It'll be in the bio. Jeff, thanks so much, buddy. Appreciate it.
Hey, man, appreciate it. And we'll talk later about the other thing that we.
I'll send you a message tomorrow or something when I get a
cool,
little
man. Cool. All right, man. Let me thank you so much, buddy.
Anytime, Jeff. See it, man. Folks, that's Jeff Jena. How about that, man? That was pretty cool. I like that. That was a good show. That was very cool. All you guys, thank you so much again for tuning in. I appreciate it. As always, you guys are fantastic. You're very supportive. I appreciate it. Tomorrow, this was a special Thursday. I'm not doing a lot of, I'm trying to stay away from doing Tuesday and Thursdays. It's mainly Monday, Wednesday, and Friday now on Facebook Live. And then the shows are updated to YouTube the very next day on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So like Gena's episode was uploaded today. Jeff's will be uploaded tomorrow. You can check out that. If you enjoyed the show, please like all the YouTube videos. Do that for me. That really helps me. It goes a long way. Any of the videos from the show, like all those, like the fan page, like that stuff if you can. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us everywhere. Do any of that stuff you can. If you enjoy the show, tune in again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, live at 6. And as always, do me a favor and dream of Pinky.
Lenny Schmidts Quarantine Comedy is hosted and produced by, Lenny Schmidt, duh. If you enjoyed today's show, like the video on YouTube, give it a thumbs up or a way to go or whatever the most popular social media thing these kids today are doing. It goes a long way and it really helps us out. Check the description below for info on all today's guests, as well as the host. If you're a fan, you can follow them, like them, or even support them. Go to their site or page and hit their Venmo, PayPal, buy a shirt, an album, a download. Anything you will spend will literally help save the arts. Quarantine Comedy airs on Facebook Live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Each show is recorded, then uploaded to YouTube and released as a podcast the very next day. Also at 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Everything's 6 p.m. We keep it simple. That's all we can handle. Thank you for listening to my dad's show, and as always, dream of Pinky.